Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back another video day. And today, J.J. McCarthy is out for the season, as it was announced by the Vikings and head coach Kevin O'Connell that J.J. McCarthy, rookie quarterback, will miss the entire 2024 season with a torn meniscus. It didn't look that bad to start off. It looked like he was, going to potentially, go in and have a surgery that would, put him out in the area 4 to 12 weeks, and would, have him potentially, miss or not be available for the first couple weeks of the season, or potentially around the area of week 9, week 10. But it wasn't what the Vikings thought it was. He's going to get the full repair on the torn meniscus, and it will cause him to be out for the rest of the season. And look, I don't think the Vikings had any plans for J.J. McCarthy to be the starting quarterback to start off this season, but I think down the road, potentially, J.J. McCarthy could have gotten the call to potentially be the quarterback for the Vikings. But honestly, I think for the area of the first at least 6 to 8 weeks of the season, Sam Darnold was the plan for him to be the starting quarterback. Unless he absolutely started playing terrible or got injured, I didn't see J.J. McCarthy coming in. And honestly, I thought that really the only way that J.J. McCarthy would come in for this Vikings team in the first 6 to 8 weeks was if he got injured. Because I honestly don't see Sam Darnold being a guy who struggles with this Vikings offense. Darnold's a guy who, when the last time we saw him as a starter, he looked really good with the Carolina Panthers to end the 2022 season. Looked really, really good with the Panthers. And that's nearly not as good as an offense as what the Vikings have. This is an offense that has some really solid running backs with Aaron Jones and Ty Chandler. They have a great wide receiver core, having Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. And, of course, they have a tight end in T.J. Hawkinson. So that is a great offense for Sam Darnold. And you look at some of the teams he's been a starter on. Sure, he was on a San Francisco 49ers team last year, that has one of the best offenses we've seen in any teams in a while. The best offense in the NFL last year with Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, Trent Williams at left tackle. That's a great offense, but Darnold was the backup, not the starter for the 49ers. So with that being said, Darnold didn't play with that offense. But if we look at the teams that he has started on his career, the New York Jets and the Carolina Panthers, you compare those two teams to this Vikings offense, you compare those two offenses or teams, this Vikings team is a lot better. And Darnold has grown. I thought that he probably learned a lot in his season with the 49ers. Being with a guy like Kyle Shanahan as a head coach, I think that is it. He's still young at 20. He's like 26. He's still like 25, 26 years old. So he's still young for a quarterback who's been in the league since 2017, 2018. So he's still a young quarterback. And he has never been with an offense that is this good. You could arguably say that Justin Jefferson is the best wide receiver in football, outside of Tyreek Hill. I mean, honestly, if you ask me, I'd say Justin Jefferson is the best wide receiver in football. But I think between him and Tyreek Hill, it's very close. And I think maybe more people would take Tyreek Hill. It depends. Both are very good at different things. But anyways, I don't think Sam Darnold's has had an offense like this with Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and Aaron Jones and T.J. Hawkinson and Ty Chandler in his career. And he's also grown in this last year as a quarterback, being with Kyle Shanahan in that 49ers offense. Even though he wasn't a starter, you still learn things. You watch a team that is that good as a backup quarterback, and getting to see how that works, and a successful team like that ends up going to the Super Bowl is an overtime period away from winning the Super Bowl. You learn things in a season like that. This was the first year that Sam Darnold has ever been in the playoffs in his career. Being with the New York Jets and the Carolina Panthers his entire career, he'd never been to the playoffs. Even though this is not I know, I know that he wasn't the starter for the 49ers in the playoffs or in the Super Bowl. That was Brock Purdy. But I think even a backup quarterback can learn things being on a team like that. When you're with Kyle Shanahan as a head coach and that whole 49ers team, if you ask me, I believe he learned things this past season in 2023 with San Fran, and that I think will be valuable. I don't see the Vikings being a great team this year because I think they're in a very tough division with teams like Detroit, Chicago, and Green Bay, and they have a harder schedule outside of in-division matchups. I see this being a team that gets in the area of 6 to 8 wins, which honestly, with a team that's had a huge downgrade at quarterback going from Kirk Cousins to Sam Darnold. Even though I like Darnold, he is nowhere near Kirk Cousins. So with them having a downgrade at quarterback, and also losing some other pieces of this team, I think 6 to 8 wins is solid. But I see Darnold doing good. I see Darnold doing good for this San Francisco 49ers team. Or sorry, for this Minnesota Vikings team. I was talking so much about the 49ers. But, I think the thing is that if you see Darnold have a good season, I think that this is what we could see happen. You could see Darnold have a great season with this Minnesota Vikings team to the point where after he has a good season after he has a good season, if he does this season, after this season, if he does, he's potentially looking at other teams targeting him as a potential starter in free agency if anybody needs that. I think he'd maybe be a target for the New York Giants potentially if things go bad with Daniel Jones. And not just that, but honestly, I think what could happen if Darnold plays well, I think other teams will be looking at him for a starting job, and then after the season's over, I'm thinking we will see J.J. McCarthy being the starting quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings in the 2025 season. So I don't think we're going to see McCarthy being the backup at all for Sam Darnold. I think we'll see Darnold, of course, as the starter for the entire 2024 season. Once the season's over, I think Darnold will go sign with a new team. Maybe if he doesn't play that great, he's signing as a backup somewhere. And maybe if he plays great with Minnesota, he ends up getting a starting job potentially. And then, things move on in Minnesota with J.J. McCarthy. We'll see what happens, though. But I'm glad, McCarthy's going to get this meniscus all healed, and I think he'll be back, and I think he'll be good. This is a guy who looks really good in his first preseason game. He threw 11 for 17 with 188 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 1 interception thrown. Those are good numbers for a first preseason game for a rookie quarterback. And if you ask me, those are numbers that he's putting up while playing with the second team. Those aren't numbers that he put up while playing with the first team, like guys just like Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, T.J. Hawkinson, and Aaron Jones. This was what he did with the second team. So imagine what he could be doing if he starts playing with the first team with Jefferson and Addison and Hawkinson and Jones. So, as we'll probably see him grow going into the 2025 season as a quarterback and potentially get better. Even though he's not going to be on the football field this year, they're going to still find ways to improve his game as his injury heals. And, and once he's done with the rehab on his knee, they're going to find ways for him to improve as a quarterback. So I think next time we see him, he could be improved. And we will see him most likely with that starting offense, which is in his only preseason game. We did not see that. He was playing with the second team. So the only unfortunate thing for me is what I'm thinking is I'm really upset that I didn't get to see him with that first team, because what I did say when talking about his performance on Saturday, after his performance on Saturday, I said the main thing is look how good he played while playing with the second team. Imagine if he plays with the first team and how different that could be for him and how much better of a performance he would have had, even though he had a good performance. So, it's going to be interesting. I think with what he showed in his first preseason game, him being the starter in 2025, if he's healthy and he improves a little bit on some things, he's going to be a good quarterback for the Vikings. And it definitely helps when you have a good head coach who has experience as a quarterback himself, and Kevin O'Connell. Couldn't think of a better head coach to have in Kevin O'Connell to be, the guy who's your head coach and for J.J. McCarthy. And then not just having the head coach in Kevin O'Connell, but also having that offense around you. That's a great situation for a rookie. I look at two rookies like J.J. McCarthy, and also same thing goes for Caleb Williams. I look at these two guys, and even though McCarthy won't be the starter in 2024, both guys, I was confident for those two guys coming in because of the offenses that they have. Now, obviously we won't see J.J. McCarthy with that offense. We will see Caleb Williams with his offense. Funny enough that they're in the same division. But I think for those two quarterbacks as rookies coming into those offenses, those are two great situations for a rookie quarterback. J.J. McCarthy, if and when he would have gotten the opportunity to start, he would have had Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, T.J. Hawkinson, Aaron Jones, and a solid defense. Look at Caleb Williams and what he has offensively. He has Keenan Allen, he has Roma DeZoon, he has DJ Moore, DeAndre Swift, Khalil Herbert, Cole Kmet, and a solid defense behind him. Those are great situations for rookie quarterbacks. I'm not saying the other rookie quarterbacks don't have good situations. Bo Nix, I think, has a solid offense in Denver if he's the starter. Drake May is not going to be the starter to start off this year. I don't know when he'll get the opportunity to start, but he has a terrible offense when he gets that opportunity. Michael Penix, I don't think he will start at all, with Kirk Cousins being the starter this year in Atlanta. I'm missing one other rookie first-round pick in this year's draft. I can't think about who else got drafted. It was McCarthy, Nix, Penix, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels, another guy who has a really solid offense going into his rookie season as well. So I feel I felt confident going into the season about guys like Jaden Daniels, J.J. McCarthy, and Caleb Williams with the offenses that are surrounded in front of those three guys. But unfortunately, we're going to only see Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams. Of course, we will see Bo Nix and Drake May, and and also the other rookie the other rookie quarterbacks outside of McCarthy. You have Jaden Daniels, you have Caleb Williams, you have Bo Nix, Drake May. There's one more I'm missing. There's one more guy I'm missing, but we're going to see the five other rookie quarterbacks this year, but the one guy we won't see is J.J. McCarthy. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and peace out.